hello. How is everybody? I've never done the TikTok. I do have a TikTok, and it is an uploaded TikTok, I think, because I don't understand how TikTok works. It was that one level, Speedwagon, which was like the highest rated Team Fantastic level ever. I don't even know how many people have, like, in Team Fantastic have beaten it. I'm sure plenty of actual people have beaten it. Because if you're good at shells, you get a big leg up. Stop beeping at me. You know what I did? It was weird. People started filtering in like 15 minutes earlier than they were supposed to, so I ended up like basically improving over chords for a quarter of an hour, and then just went through the intro set before the actual service for 30 minutes, and I did not have 30 minutes of material. Yes, and one of the people that came in super early sat down really close to where I was situated, and she made some kind of comment, and I wasn't really looking at her because I was like paying attention to playing music, and she made some kind of comment about David Bowie, and I don't know what she said. And then I was just kind of like, ah, yeah. And then I just kept playing. That's my fun wedding story. David Bowie. I don't know if she was comparing the music to David Bowie or if she wanted me to play some David Bowie. I got the YouTube Trolls IRL. What are you doing? Are you playing music? What is this? How did I get here? Are you David? Do you know David Bowie? Do you know my grandson? Roblox. Because you see. No, it was fun. I really enjoy getting to do video game music at weddings because you get this nice situation where most people there do not recognize the tune at all, and they'll just be like, "Oh, that sounds lovely. Ah, what nice music." But as soon as someone comes in and they do recognize it, they kind of like, wait a second, and it's that, the meme, they're like, just listen to those dire Docks. Yeah, so I got to do dire Docks. There's a couple songs from Braid that I think sound pretty good. And then the groomsmen walk down the aisle to Lost Woods from Ocarina of Time, which I learned that one specifically for this wedding. It was requested by the groom, and it came out nice. I did some heavy 7th chords, so it sounded a little bit loungy, a little bit lounge piano. Nerd weddings to epic zors. Yeah, and he mentioned after the fact that his groomsmen did not know about what songs were going to be played ahead of time. So apparently when his best man heard the song, he was like, dude, did you? Because they had a lot of like childhood bonding with Ocarina of Time. So it was like a very, it was a very heartfelt moment that meant a lot to them. And I thought that was very sweet and nice. But yeah, four video game songs. I think that is now my record for number of video game pieces I've squeezed into a wedding. Not all were in the ceremony. A lot of those were just during the intro while people were sitting down. you could make the argument that there were 5 separate songs because I squeezed in the introduction to Ocarina of Time before starting the actual Lost Woods part, the da 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 da, and then segued in. We're making video games. We're making video games tonight. I got something for you guys. I got something nice for you guys because it's been a while since we've had a dev stream. This was all, oh, of course. It was with the bagpipes and the jaw harp. I had to bring my jaw harp along to add the percussion. I don't know if that comes through very well. I don't know why I have this. What's that? Yeah, that's true. Even if you were in the room, you'd barely hear that. Yeah, it's very rubber band sound. I need an amplifier. Electric jaw harp. The whatchamacallit. It's dangerous to go alone. Take this. And hands the groom a bride. Perfect. All right, let's take a look. I got something that I worked on that is going to come in handy. A menu. A configurable menu thing. So this is good for a few reasons. The best part about this menu is it is completely self-contained. There's no code that really goes back and forth. I pass in a list of items, and I tell it, when you get back a response from the menu, tell me. And that's it. Like, there's no data that's like, oh, you gotta check this global every so often to see if the user has said something. No, it's none of that. So to set it up, this is basically what I've got here. This is gonna be, I'm sprinkling in all these load calls and I shouldn't be. We're gonna properly load things eventually. So what load calls do is they're like, okay, as soon as this function comes up, stop everything, load in all the image files and sound files and everything else that's associated with this scene, and then continue. And that can be slow for bigger scenes. Like, we're not seeing a performance impact yet, but we will. So we need to make sure that we're pretty cautious about that, and actually come up with a solution for that later. That's his trademark move. Spin suddenly. So yeah, we just new up a menu. We tell it what to do when we get a selection back, and then we just set the items. Currently, we only pass in the name and whether or not it's disabled. That's all for now, but that's not enough. We're gonna need more in-depth stuff. We're gonna need like the icons, additional information like cost. There's probably gonna be some extra stuff in there as well, like some tooltip kind of stuff at the bottom of the screen when you've got an option highlighted. But we also can do scrolling works as well. Let's have 6 test items appended here. It doesn't work great, but it does technically work. I need to figure out how to properly do this with the the vertical scroll containers. I feel like I'm doing something with them that shouldn't be correct. That's a great point. It passes in the name of the parameter. If I can, menu item, add item, is disabled. And yeah, is enabled would probably be better, just from a development standpoint. we're gonna be completely retooling this later, because we also need to pass in, okay, what image does it need? Does it cost an amount of resources? All this extra stuff. That's a problem for future dogs. Yeah, screw that guy. I would like to have... Well, first of all, this is entirely too big. I would like to have little icons at the top and bottom indicating whether you can or cannot scroll. But because of the nature of how I'm doing the scrolling stuff, it's not great. But we'll work on it. It's weird when I request, hey, how far down are you scrolled? I can request like what is the bottom scroll possible, and it's weirdly different than the value you actually get when you're at the bottom. So I don't know what the deal is. But I can actually select things and read from them, and then it will actually do the item. And then look, we even loop back, so I can do these things. Look, I'm making choices. I'm choosing to have the enemy attack. Incredible. So there you go. It works. It's a little ugly, but it works. So I gotta figure out how we're gonna proceed from here. Really cleaning up the battle stuff is quite important. The nice thing about working on the menu stuff is it's very self-contained. I can make changes to it and be confident that it's not going to affect anything else upstream. It's only messing with its own thing. All it returns, by the way, because this, because everyone wants to know, all it returns is an index. If you choose the first option, it gives a 0. If you pick the second option, it's 1. Third option, 2. It's basically how many down from the top are you? 0 down, 1 down, 2 down, 3 down. And then I can just basically, hey, you made a selection. What do I do? Well, if you chose 0, then we're doing this stuff, which we've already gone into this whole mess of weird stuff that I'm okay with right now. It works. So yeah. So that's where we stand on that. So what we may work on tonight is clean up that menu stuff a little bit. The scrolling is... So I can show you what that looks like. Combat menu item. I can just like add one of these in, and that's it. Oops. Duplicate. And then it starts to become scrolly. Whoa. I actually don't know what's happening there. I'm at a loss. I don't know. Oh, it's probably Nope, never mind. I don't know. I was about to say, oh, it's because of the test stuff, but you know what? Actually, it is probably because of when you set it up. I think it expects me to use this add item stuff instead of manually adding things to it. So it's not meant to be tested in this way, is the problem. Okay. So 6 items. So I guess the first thing is handling the scroll. So the scroll as it stands right now, Yeah, we're gonna work with that later. Is I've got these hard-coded numbers here. That's basically like if the cursor is pointing to an item that is like towards the top of the scrollable container, then oops, we need to scroll up so that it is pointing to something that is now visible. And I don't like that. I don't want to do this. Like I'm almost considering manual scrolling. Like, I know, yeah, like I could have a scroll index for how far you are scrolled, like, or target scroll. Do I do by index? Let's do it by index. Why not? We're gonna try this. We're gonna go off the assumption that every menu item is a certain height, whether or not it is. 65 pixels is our expected menu height. We're gonna go with this. We're gonna see what happens. Let's actually plug that in here so we can keep track of it and maybe get it dynamically later once we've kind of settled on something. All right, so max number, yeah, our add item command like keeps track of what? Making sure everything gets in the right spot. Make sure everything gets properly set to enabled or disabled, and currently selected or not currently selected. Oh, and then we call startup, which I don't know what's supposed to call that. Oh, process does. Okay. Well, then startup should also keep track of a max scroll index, which should be something. What is that going to be? Here, let's delete all this junk. And let's just do a little bit of, go back to the battle scene. Okay. If you have 6 items or less, then you cannot scroll at all. 6 items or less, you cannot scroll. And so your max is 0. Once you hit 7 items, then it is number of items minus 6. Let's just keep that up here. We need to pretty that scene up a bit just so it's nicer to look at. It's like it's fine, but I just wish it looked nicer, even though it's just placeholder graphics for now. Except for these guys. These guys are great. They're great. Combat menu item. Max scroll index is going to be the number of items. So that is item container dot get child count minus 6. So if we have 7, then max scroll index is 1. And if that puts it below a vast Frogopolis. I don't want to get too in-depth this early because the way that battle scenes normally work in Paper-likes and a lot of other RPGs is that the battle backdrop should be a vignette of the area you were in when the battle started, so that you can kind of recycle it for different rooms of the same region. If max scroll index is less than or equal to 0, max scroll index equals 1. Okay, so now let's change this mess here. Handle up-down inputs. We set selected, we change our current select index here. And we should change our target scroll index to match. No, we should not. Do not change that yet. Let's instead have a function handle scroll. We're just going to kind of set that all up right in here. All right, so cursor position jumps to the selected thing. That is fine. Selected index, if it is more than... Okay, so if we are if our top displayed element is element number 3, and we are selecting something less than 3, such as because we scrolled to the very top or because we are starting to scroll up, like we hit 2. Yeah. Okay, so I need some variables here from up here. If our current select index is less than our target scroll index, is that the situation we're looking at when we're scrolling up? So I am scrolled to 1, and I've selected 1. Okay, so if I'm less than or equal to, molesks, an overwhelming number of molesks, honestly. Then we want to change the target scroll index equal to 1 less than our current select index. Man, I kind of want to get... let's pass. Let's bring up this again and get some dummy stuff again. 4, 5, 6. That should be enough. Refresh. Okay. So now we have a scrollable menu again. Okay. So in this case, all right. So I am now, this is 3, or this is item 3, so index 2. So if I'm scrolled to index 2 and selecting index 2, less than or equal to, then target scroll index needs to be current select index -1, unless that sends it down to 0. That's a lot of tomes. If target scroll index would be placed less than 0, then place it at 0. Just as a little bounds check there. Similarly, if it becomes greater than our maximum scroll index, set it to the maximum scroll index. So there's our bounds check. Red coins of the coral reef. People are guessing letters. I don't get it. Why would you ever guess letters? Okay, and then we're moving down. Okay, so we are now targeting current select index is now greater than or equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 plus our target scroll index. And that is because max number displayed. I should probably parameterize that after I've done all these calculations. Then target scroll index needs to be bumped up to target scroll index should be current select index. Current select index. Wait. Current select index plus 5 is greater than or equal to, then move it to 6. 6. Okay, let's try working with this. Okay, so we handle scroll, and now let's take this out. Cursor.position. So scroll container scroll vertical equals 65 times our target scroll index. So we're gonna jump to. We're not gonna lerp. Oh, not working at all. All right. Well, cool. While we're doing that, then let's print our target scroll index. Should start at 0. Oh, it's at 4? Why is it at 4? How did it get to 4? Why is it starting at 4? Hold on, what? Alright, so at the beginning, current select index, a block of dandelion. Current select index is going to start at 0. Well, after our initial setup, it's going to start at 0. And our target scroll index is going to be 0. Less than or equal to, less than or... So that immediately says, yep, that sure is the case. And changes it to -1. Current select index 0, 5 is greater than target scroll... Oh, wait. Oh. Current select index... Current select index... No, that should have been plus 5 over here. Target scroll index plus 5. Then target scroll index is current select index. This one I'm less certain on, so let's not do that one just yet. Yeah, that fixes that at least. Then target scroll index needs to be bumped within bounds, which should be this minus 6. Let's say current select index is 5, and target scroll index is then 5 minus 4. Okay. Hey, all right, there we go. We're seeing some... Okay, good. Okay, I'm seeing some off by 1 pixel stuff going on here, though. But that is correct. It is working. Let's change this to 66. It's still off by a pixel. Where's that extra margin coming in from? Something is amiss here. Did I Did I hard code 65? I did. I did, that's why. Okay. And now when I change this number to maybe 66. Or 67. Hang on, everybody wait. Okay, that looks a lot better, but we're still off by just a hair. Closer. 69. Actually, yes, it is 69 somehow. Don't know where that 4 extra pixels is coming from, but I'm not going to argue. Nice. Okay, now we're going to add the lerp. You fool! So we're going to set the scroll vertical to a lerp. And this will make it smoothly scroll, I think. But has issues when it gets to the bottom. Not huge on that, but I get it. It's a little bit cut off. Hey, Hudson. Okay, so this is good because it lets me uncomment out this stuff, sort of, to say, all right, scroll index. If scroll index is less than max scroll index, and if scroll index is greater than 0. So now we should get this. Yeah, it's not pretty, but it is correctly giving me a little icon to indicate that I can scroll down or up. All right. Up arrow a little too high. It's fine. Arrow. It's the most arrowy arrow I've ever seen. We're lerping. We're lerping. Don't like that this is getting cut off by about 2 pixels at the bottom, and I'm not 100% sure why. Let's... It's the scroll container, probably, right? Layout... size. 66 pixels. That's not right. Oh wait, that's position. Size, 410. Let's try bumping that up to 415 and see what happens. Oh, see, now I got a little bit of the bottom one, but that fixes that at least. So let's instead go for a little bit less at 414. Okay, nice, nice, nice. Looks good. Bottom reads fine. Okay, that looks a lot better. Smooth scroll. We're gonna speed that scroll up a bit. It doesn't feel snappy enough. What is is it this? No? Can I do this? Okay, that is allowed. Bump it up to 0.2. Yeah, that's much better. I also programmed in a hold to Continue scrolling. There may be a built-in for that, but I don't know what it is. We can add in a little animation to the cursor once we figure out what kind of theming we want on the menu, which is probably going to be gears and pipes and, you know, vaguely steampunky stuff. Also, we want this whole thing to be a little bit smaller overall. As it stands, it's a little bit big, but we'll get to that. Okay, I like it. Cost of things. We need to include that somewhere in the layout of this, but only sometimes. Because some of them will have costs, some of them will not. I'm tempted to just break out Thousand Year Door and just like poke at all the menus. I would like. Okay. I would like the right section to typically be reserved for the cost of an action. It's just a trick to play the game. True. I would typically like the cost to be this section. Exception, when you are changing partners, it should have partner face, name, health. Partners should have separate health. It should be a resource to manage individually. But yeah, cost will typically be a number of, I don't know, energy point, mana, number of mana. You know how RPGs work. You're on the internet watching people make video game. You know how this goes. Number of mana points, flower points, power points, some sort of point. Gosh, multiple games chose PP to be the resource. Multiple. However, okay, sometimes I want the resource that it costs to not necessarily be mana, but maybe health. I think that could be cool. I'm gonna hide those cursors for now. Those they're very distracting. This is good, but like we got it functionally working. But yeah. Okay, so we can get rid of this because we have something that handles it now. This should be handled by handle scroll. Anything else? Cursor position should just snap to the up-down input. I guess it's fine to leave it there for now. Okay. What were we? Right. So we have to decide what it looks like to have our cost over here. And then also we need to make sure that when we change it up in that we appropriately change this function here where we look for the label if we change the structure of this item. Okay, how does this work? We could... All right, so first off, let's just duplicate. Doopster. Oh, speaking of Doopster, do you guys know I got a new soundboard option? It's a really, really good one. Trust me. Okay, we're gonna have cost panel. Cost panel. Hello? Yes, I'm still listening. Doomster. These are good panels. Good panels, Bront. Oh. It's a good one. It's good, isn't it? It's good stuff. All right, sprite here is typically going to be the icon for whatever our energy point thing is. Also I can layer it pretty well. It's really good. Huh. Huh. Interesting. Wakey wakey doopoo. It's good for you, yeah. No idea where this icon is gonna go. But I do know I want it to be right justified. I just realized. To deal with like multi-digit costs. I want those to line up properly. Okay, so this panel here needs a different style. I see. How does this work? Where is this? Wait, how does this make unique? And then change color? Yeah, that's it. That's the one. That's the one. No, that is every Godot project you start gives you a little Godot logo as an image file in the structure. And I think that's actually really cool because it means like you don't have to worry about like if you need a placeholder, it's there. Just grab it. It's really cool. I like that. Okay, that looks good. And then the border color.
If you need instructions on how to get through the hotel, check out the enclosed instruction book.
How's that? That we found him. That's the Godot. I was watching the Game Grumps playthrough of Kanito Pet. The Kanito Pet horror game, because you gotta have your 90s nostalgia horror game just everywhere. They're everywhere. And I saw the Godot robot in there, and I'm like, oh, this game was made in Godot. I know that little robot. That's cute. I was watching that like a couple months ago. And I'm only just now telling the story that I saw the Godot robot in a game. Yeah, that's my story. On time. Is there anything in Thousand Year Door? Are there any moves at all in Thousand Year Door that cost health? Tamagotchis are scary. I heard Furby analogs are all the rage for horror, actually. That's what I've got my eye on. It was a great story. It took me a countable number of seconds to parse what in the world you had said, Mac. And then it was like I was having a stroke. And then it clicked. And it's like, okay, I know what you're talking about. Oh. Yeah. All right. So if I do this, it should just show this. Ooh, it's a little bit bright. It's a little, well, no, it's not quite right. It should change color. But as it stands, it's no good. Maybe lower opacity so that it just kind of inherits the opacity of or inherits the color. It doesn't quite work. Also, that border overlap, there's something really ugly going on there. Boy, he sure does. You know what? Good point, Mac. I don't know how you would describe it. It's totally innocent, whatever it is. Blend on. Maybe just no border. Oh, that's what that does. Okay, so what if, yeah, 0 opacity border. And then this just becomes even like a nice, bright, vibrant color, but low opacity. Nothing weird there. Okay, it's better. Okay, icon everywhere is probably not good unless it is like a special. Now I need to look this up. I need to look up list of skills in Bug Fables, because I think that's the one that the game that's more likely to spend things other than the main resource. General skills, team skill. No, nothing? Huh. Yeah, it's all team points. That's what they call it, Bug Fables. List of moves in Thousand Year Door. I wanted a table. I wanted a table of things, not just a list of links. Okay. Okay, here we go. That's better. Look for instances of HP. Yeah, I don't see anything. Okay, that's interesting. Well, it could specifically be cool as a resource for like a certain partner, for instance. Like maybe a specific partner kind of like has a thing like oh, strength draining, whatever, I don't know. it could be interesting. I can't think of any partners that really fits with immediately, but we can put that on the back burner that we would like the ability to have, make sure that that is a possibility. I don't think Dabble will do it. I think we'll, since Dabble is the main character. Yeah, something that kind of fits the personality in some way. But yeah, kind of, whereas we've got our main ability point thing going on for the normal skills, just maybe a few one-off moves instead require health from that character. So that could be interesting. We'll keep that in mind. Back burner. Yeah, something like that. If nothing else, this would be a really cool system to build in specifically for mods. If we want to make that possible. Okay. But for now, we do not need this. Making the stats aside from health and magic. There won't even be that, really. Oh, I guess magic points, in some way. Hey, Willow. Welcome on in. Main combat stats that you're going to be worrying about is basically just going to be health and amount of whatever your mana stand-in is. But, now we're seeing a little bit. But there is commonly, at least in the Paper Mario series, there is commonly an extra resource in the form of star points. And this is something that charges up as you do battles. Like, you can't refill it with any items or from staying in an inn. Armor points, defense will be a stat, yes. But it's going to be one of those things that's like fairly rare until you get kind of towards the end game. And then it becomes, like in the early game, you will have to build your whole strategy around like, oh no, this thing reduces all incoming damage by 2. That's a huge deal. And that's what I really love about Paper Likes, is those small numbers. Like you actually have to think through, like, how am I going to do more than 2 damage in a single blow and work around that. I love that. But it's going to be a very straightforward strategy. Like, if you asked me to tell you what the calculation formula is in Mario RPG or Final Fantasy, anything, I would have no idea where to start. There's like, oh, you got attack, defense, speed, and special attack, special defense, and then the weapon has a certain amount of stats with that. I'm like, I don't know. But 1,000 Year Door is very, very straightforward. 10,300. That's a pretty significant number. Got to get up to 6, at least 6 levels. 1,000 Year Door is basically just your attack with this move deals 3 damage. The enemy has defense of 1, so you will do 2 damage. That's it. That's the calculation. Just straight damage reduction. He's doing Mario Maker 2. The fool. So yeah, armor will be a thing. Enemies typically will not worry about mana or whatever the equivalent. We should really name it. Energy points. Because then we also have to have some kind of thing to represent the badges, medals, charms, whatever you want to call them. But we'll get to that. So this whole thing will disappear if there is no cost. This whole panel will just not appear if there's no cost. If there is a cost, then we need some way of displaying it. It'd be nice, well, for the purposes of recovery items, it would be tedious to have to explain in the description of every item that restores energy that, oh, this restores energy points except for the partners, in which case it restores non-energy regular points. I think energy is generic enough that both can use it. We may come up with a better name in the future, but we do want to use the same number. One of the big things is it's a shared pool. Partners and the main character share a single pool of resources as far as energy points. HP is separate, but mana is shared. Because holy cow, it would get really painful if the number of points available changed based on who you had out at the time. Okay, so when we add a thing, add item, name is disabled, that should be managed by the add item caller. Having enough mana is important to note. It's like if you don't have enough mana, you definitely can't do it. But there's also things like, are there any valid targets for this ability? Like if this ability can only hit things on the ground and there are no enemies on the ground, it doesn't matter if you can afford it or not. So we still need the caller to be managing whether or not it's disabled. Which we are going to change to is enabled, as Dove pointed out. Disabled. It is good to pass in a positive. It's better to pass in a positive. I think the reason I went with is disabled is in web dev, a lot of HTML DOM elements have an attribute called disabled, and if that is set, then yes, it will be disabled, and if it's not set, then it's enabled. But as a general rule, that's not how you typically want to do things. It makes sense for web where the default state is everything's enabled. For now, we're just gonna pass in mana cost. MP, sure. Cast it to a string. And then if mana cost is, it should never be negative, but let's say if less than or equal to 0, then panel 2 becomes invisible. And now we can go back to our set here and actually start giving things costs temporarily. Just for testing, we're gonna set that to that. 0 is fine on all these. Let's put one at 10 just to see what it looks like with an extra digit. Oh. Text. Cannot set text. Null instance. Is that a null instance? Panel slash label. Oh, I called it cost panel. That's right. I see the problem there. I see the problem there. Okay. Something. Oh, I know what looks wrong there. I'm in the wrong scene. Oh, we gotta flip these. We gotta flip our falses and trues. Okay, that's readable. As it stands, it looks a little bit big, since I was trying to leave room for an icon. Maybe icon can just kind of like float off to the side if we need it. It just needs to be a big to-do if it's anything other than mana. We're not going to build it in yet, so let's just assume that we never need the icon for now. So let's get rid of this icon entirely. And then this, let's let the default value be that. 10 should be the max. I can't imagine seeing anything more than that. That looks pretty good. Oh, that 10 doesn't look great though. Oh, because we changed it to MP there. And M is a much wider character, so it is pretty obviously stretched out a bit. Okay. How we looking? How we looking? Yeah, that's fine. I wish this looked... I don't know. I don't know how I wish that looked. I'm gonna give that some consideration for later. Like, it doesn't really need to... Like, maybe that should be pink text if you can't afford it or something. It's like sometimes it will be it's disabled because you can't afford it, but sometimes it'll be disabled because there's no valid targets. And it would be handy to visually see at a glance what the case is. But right now we don't even have those stats. They don't even exist yet. So, you know. I guess we need some actual UI of like player health. We'll have 2 panels for character health. 1 panel for MP, EP, whatever we're gonna call it. Did we want... Okay, we talked about this briefly a while back. There are a few schools of thought about how to handle this. Thousand Year Door does something very nice in that the UI at the top of the battle screen is also the most relevant stuff you need outside of battle. Like, how much health do you have, how much flower points, how much XP until the next level, and how many coins are you holding right now, and also star points. And that's super nice that they're the same set of elements, because, you know, whatever you train your eye to look for in combat, it's all laid out exactly the same outside of combat. Very good. Bug Fables. I can't imagine Bug Fables used the same in and out of combat, because one of the big UI elements that it's got at the very top is a reminder for what button to press to change party order, I think. Maybe that, I mean, I guess that's still vaguely relevant outside of combat. We could have it be the same in and out of combat. Have a single UI for that. Let's start with just getting some HP on there. We want to have a certain region, a whole region devoted to health that can support 1 or 2 characters. Because, like, I mean, definitely at the start of the game, you're going to be alone, but HP's not going to be a super big consideration. Well, I guess the tutorial fight, you will be on your own. You will have a tutorial character telling you what to do, but you will be in battle as a sole fighter. And potentially later in the game, maybe there will be occasional times where you're on your own again. You know, that's always, you know, that's a common trope. It's very possible that we do that. So we want to have a section that can support up to 2 party members, main character and partner, but can gracefully slide down to 1, wherein we're going to have, if there's only 1 character, they're going to be on the left. If there's 2 characters, they're going to match the order. So main character in front on the right, partner on the left. Next to that, mana or whatever. I don't know about stacking vertically, because already you have to do X out of Y HP, and then you wind up with this cluster. If you stack those on top of each other, you wind up with a cluster of 4 separate double-digit numbers. And so you've got these 8 digits with slashes interspersed all in one block. I think it works nicely. Hi, Day. Good day. Day, we have a menu now. You can actually select things from it. Pow. I mean, it's it's the same little dinky little animations as before, but it is a working menu with scrolling even. Amazing. Yeah, that's scrolling fast enough. The menu is probably too big, but it should... should it? I was about to say it should gracefully resize. Really, Day? Really? You gonna do this to me? You gonna do this to me? I have to move this lunchbox out of the way. Unbelievable. I have to get on the bike. The nerve. Okay. Day has purchased 10 minutes of exercise bike. Go. Terrible. I'm gonna zoom in on the browser so I can actually read chat at a distance now. All right. All right, well, let's discuss then. An excuse for Hovercat. Well, I've kind of moved the chair out of here, so it's not even...
Why did you move the chair?
More biking room. I have no good reason. You're welcome to you know, claim this little section of carpet down here. Oh no. It's the best.
Just stand here.
You may kneel.
Hello.
Not much, just on the bike. You know, getting
It
fit.
feels really awkward.
Would you like a small stool?
I mean, my bike and chair.
Oh.
Why did you get rid of this?
There we go. Microphone is unmuted again. Everyone, welcome to the stage. Hovercat.
No. I have a chair now.
She has a chair. I'm getting the feeling that you might be more popular on my stream than I am.
Oh, I don't think that's true. I'm just, what's the word?
A scarce resource.
It wasn't the word I was
Supply
going
and
for,
demand.
but I don't know. I can't remember.
Okay.
Something like that, though.
Uh-huh. Favorite guest star. There we go. Straight from Day's mouth.
There you go. Very high demands. So how's everyone doing? Anything exciting happening
I
tonight?
have a menu. You can check it out.
Oh, what a great menu.
You have to click on it first to focus the window, but then you can select any of those three options with the keyboard. No mouse support. This is meant to be played on a controller. WASD.
Did it.
Wow, incredible. We're getting some user testing here. Wow, you're a pro.
Oh. Let's see, what am I reading? Nothing too exciting. I've been working on this scurvy book for a long time. And it's not the best book about scurvy in the world. Well, maybe it is. I guess it's the only book about scurvy I've read.
That's true, you don't have a lot to compare with. It's the best book about scurvy you've ever read.
But it's taken me a long time to get through. And as for embroidery, it's going well. I'm still working on that cow. But I had a little bit of a setback. I did some knitting during D&D last night, and my thumb got really sore from holding the knitting needles.
Grievous knitting injury.
And so I've elected to not work on any embroidery tonight.
6 minutes left to
'Cause
bike.
sometimes the like grabbing of things is not good for the old thumb.
Old thummy.
Oh no. I'm old, I guess.
We're old. It's okay.
How's everyone else doing? Work and stuff and things that people have.
Hudson's playing Mario Maker.
Oh, why does he hate himself?
That's what I said.
We are allowed to be old. We made it this far.
It's true.
I think it's like the problem is that in my brain I don't really feel very old.
Yeah.
So think of myself as like a early 20s type of person, which is aged from like a few years ago when I still felt like a teenager. So
Yeah. So you always feel, you know, you're always lagging a little bit behind.
I am, yeah.
You're just getting used to the new age.
Yeah. And yeah, so then when I have like weird little nagging injury type of things that I get from knitting, I'm like, oh no.
5 minutes left to the bike, and then we're back to game
Can't
dev.
possibly be old enough for this.
Let's see, what else has been going on? Germ Dev's still working his way through Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh yeah.
Al's been able to do some streams before fall, when school
Yeah.
picks back up.
School. Weird.
Dupu still missing Bowser throws in 64.
Mm-hmm.
You'd think after all this time,
Yeah.
but no.
I think. Ow, hello.
It's Al!
How you doing?
Always listening.
Thanks for the D&D session last night. if I did get a knitting injury, but that's not your fault.
I am really enjoying the D&D.
Rumor has it that Day is going to be doing some streams in August.
I've heard.
Well, who did you hear that from? Because the grapevine is not always reliable.
Yeah, we need a reliable source here.
Not responsible. I did not sign a contract that stated that, so I expect compensation for my
You
injury.
may be entitled to no compensation.
That's how I feel, Mac. I can't say whether or not you are exciting to listen to because I've never watched yours, but whenever I stream, I'm like, oh no, this must be terribly boring.
Max
Everybody
streams
watches.
during the middle of the day.
Oh yeah, that's not a good time for us to make it.
Yeah, that's what I was about to
middle of
say.
the
Is,
day on Sunday.
when the
We're
child is
always
awake.
busy. Yeah,
We
always
have-
doing something.
we have a child running around.
Sunday.
3 minutes. 3 minutes left.
Like Saturday, we're more likely to like get a babysitter in the middle of the day every once in a while.
If we're lucky.
But Sunday, we pretty much always have her on Sundays. Doing something with us.
Although weekdays are going to be a lot
And it
different
tends to
pretty
be our
soon.
family day. Yeah, weekdays are gonna be different. Having a hard time adjusting to that concept.
She is
She is, yes.
off into the school system.
Yep. First year of full-time school. I feel weird about it. That's okay. It's fine.
Whew. Like out of the three of us, I'm handling it the best.
For now.
For now.
On her first day, you're probably just gonna be sobbing.
Yeah. She is somewhat nervous,
She is.
but at the same time excited.
It's hard sometimes to separate what her true feelings are versus what she's gained from like media.
Yeah.
And just
Where
conversations
she's
with
just
people and
acting
stuff.
out how she is
Yeah.
supposed to act because this is what they did in the cartoon.
Yeah, like, oh, okay, you're supposed to be nervous for your first day of school, but also excited.
Okay, I
So
can do
that's
it.
what I am.
All right, I've got my motivation.
Yeah.
Action.
It will be quiet. It's gonna be weirdly quiet.
Last minute. You can still hang out over here if you like.
Yeah, it will be quiet, and I will have a lot of free time to do
Meeting.
whatever. I mean, apparently not knitting. I can't knit for that long. What was the D&D session last night? Like 2 hours, and I developed an injury.
That's true. But you had to do a lot of nervous knitting.
I didn't feel that nervous.
It was a
was I
weird.
supposed
It was
to?
a weird first session to start on.
I never feel that nervous, even if I die. You know,
Just
die
not,
in a blaze of glory.
just not grasping the weight of the consequences. 10 minutes. 75 calories.
Don't want to let my team down or whatever. but-
Yeah. Every session so far. The first session was perfectly normal and really set the stage like very well on
Everyone saw it.
yeah, it was a cool flip. Unlike that one guy that did a flip off camera. It really displayed how much Al was preparing but leaving things open. Like,
And then you all ruined that.
yeah, basically. Like the mere fact that there was
Unruly.
a shift in the scene mid-battle was like it made me realize that I've never had a DM actually put forth this much effort into creating a fun game.
Yeah. Have you ever put that much effort into creating a fun game?
I've made handouts and stuff. I made like a whole diary, like a 50-page diary.
That's true.
that had to be like translated a page at a time, and then like they didn't get the first page first. They got like a middle page, and like it was slowly doling out the story through that. And then they got another diary that they started getting pieces of, and then the game kind of fell apart.
Oh man. And then you were like, I'm never putting this much effort in again.
No, I was still open to it. Now, there was one time I put in a lot of effort to making a one-shot for another group, and then they just straight up stood me up.
Are you talking about the Harry Potter group?
No,
Oh, okay.
no, completely different group. I had a whole session ready to go,
So rude.
and like they didn't even call to cancel. Nobody showed up.
Oh man.
It was the rudest thing
That is
ever.
rude.
I gotta get this air conditioner.
Who does that?
Honestly.
Was this before we met?
Yeah, it was.
I'm saying. I feel like I would remember that because I would have been incensed on your behalf.
Oh. You're welcome to hang out over here if you like.
Thanks. I feel like that's weird.
It's fine. Need that air conditioning. Oh, that's too small, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
Yeah, you wouldn't be able
smaller
to see-
than usual.
You wouldn't be able to see that.
Is that how you usually have it?
Normally I have it at normal
Is
zoom.
that normal?
That's normal.
That's so small.
Yeah, let's bump it back up to 125%. There you go.
Whenever my sisters look over my shoulder while I'm like texting on my phone, they're like, "Are your eyes okay?" Because I have it like way zoomed in. Like, your phone looks like you're a 60-year-old woman.
I'm glad you're having fun with it, Al. What's weird about going on a team building corporate ski retreat? A D&D, baby!
Yeah.
Boy, it sure is. All right, we're gonna make a UI. Let's see, what else is in the news? What else is in the group news these days? Well, Factorio,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they did a
Heard of
blog
it.
post on Friday. They do their posts every Friday.
Mm-hmm.
It was meh this week. It was mostly optimization stuff. There was like one change listed. Let's see here. What was it? There was one change listed that was like, okay, that'll be interesting, I guess. Oh, was that the one? Lamp always on? Maybe. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of interesting stuff in this one.
You know, it probably wouldn't have mattered for me that much what it was.
Are you sure? Like, it's a lot of optimization stuff that they're going over. They're like, oh yeah, on big bases, this is a 3.6% performance improvement on this system. No, on the overall game performance. That's huge.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that is notable. RoboPorts now have a 2-chunk radar built in, that's something.
Are you telling me this?
No, not
Okay,
really.
I was gonna say, it's like I don't know what any of this words
I'm
mean.
I'm interested in Factorio updates.
I know, but I assumed you were sharing that information for someone other than me because I don't know what any of that means.
Al thinks it's pretty nice.
Yeah, I was gonna say like for Al or someone.
Yeah.
'cause-
Wait, you don't care about the RoboPort
I mean, I
built-in
care
chunk
because
radar?
you care, but I don't know what it means.
That's fair. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm excited if you're excited.
Thank you.
If you're not excited, I'm not excited.
Yeah. Yeah.
So just tell me how to feel.
Okay, I'll do my best. Okay, we need do we have a game state manager? Changes everything.
Everything's different now,
Yeah.
I guess.
This changes everything.
Okay. I feel like I should get off your legs.
Okay.
You're gonna go numb. Bye.
They will not.
Bye.
Goodbye, Hovercat. I'm gonna zoom back into 100%, and everything's gonna look so tiny, but only. Oh, it paused the music a while back. Didn't even know. I guess I've had my headphones off for a bit. All right, let's do this. We're gonna have a UI. Okay, here's something, and I haven't been able to figure out how to do this.
Layout, transform. I don't think I can do this even. Like if I wanted these to like swing outward. If I wanted these to swing outward, that would be cool. But I don't know that I can make that happen. Like when the menu opens, like the panels swing out to give it some some juice, as they love to say. So if I just loaded this in here, I cannot, for the life of me, figure out if it's even possible. Yeah, I cannot affect the scale of this at all because it is a child of a container. These container properties for positioning. I mean, I get it. But yeah, I cannot mess with the layout at all. Let me just double check on that. Godot, transform child control. Is it possible to rotate the children of a control node? A tab container that's rotated 90 degrees, but the content of the tab is still facing the normal direction. Godot control nodes tend to have a rather long branches of one parent to child stacks when you get into fancy design. Containers take full position and rect override of their immediate children, but only their immediate children, not grandchildren. Okay. Oh. So, hypothetically... So then, but it's still the child. It's still a child though. Okay. So maybe. So should this be a child of this panel? And then we could just maybe scale this entire panel. So what that would mean is that when I'm going here, it's no longer cost panel slash label, it's panel slash cost panel. Okay, so let's make sure that still works. Okay, good. I do have this weird little thing here. We can get rid of that. VBox container. VBox container is this. For item in, no, because those don't exist yet. It's got to be in the startup function. For item in item container dot get children. Item is a, what is it? It's just a control of some sort. We don't know exactly what. Item dot rotation equals 180. Let's just go crazy with that for now. Well, don't see them at all, but they are transformed. They sure are transformed, so that's a start. Okay, let's do 10 degrees. 10 degree rotation of the child items. What does that look like? Okay, we can. Maybe. Sort of. Problem is... Okay, no, we can do this. Scale. Scale. So it will be... Yeah, I'll have to do set scale. Unless I can set the scale. It's a vector 2. Okay. So let's do this. Okay. Yeah, actually, yeah. 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 How? Also, did I see? Okay, that's gone. All right, I want to start it at 0 and lerp it. Lerp it right up. So at startup, set to 0. During the process function? Sure, I guess. Initial animation. I should do it as an animation. That makes much more sense, actually. Yeah, what am I thinking? Use the animator. Use the animator with a delay based on the position. All right, let's try this. Animation player. We're gonna try and add a little fanciness to this, guys. Check it out. Slide out is our animation. And we're going to animate what track? I will show you. It is the panel scale. And the end point is that right there. The start point, you know what? Sure, just duplicate it, because then we can just set this to 0. Play it. Cubic, let's give it a little swoop. Definitely speed this thing up a lot. Okay, I like it. Maybe we'll make it a little slower, I don't know. That looks good. Okay, so we're gonna play slide out animation, but I think we can set the time such that here, let's do this. Let's do this. There we go. Oh, why is it? Oh, right. That's why. I know why. It's because that's just kind of how that works. Is there a way around that at all? Okay, yeah, there kind of is. It's a little rough. I don't like that it's doing that, but I get it. It's because I've got this set to a cubic setup. If I go linear, then yeah, it just zoops right out. I could do some manual smoothing of it a little bit. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, that's fine. So what we'll do is combat menu, script. For each of these, item dot get node, get the animation player for each one as we start up. And play slide out animation. All right, so this should start with just everything sliding out at once. Yeah, like that. Which is fine. Again, it's all fine. It's all fine. Yeah, like that. But to make it cool, we're going to set, we want to like set the time for the animation player. Current animation position, I think. Can we set this? Is this a settable? Looks like it. Okay, so we're gonna go from from like 0.8 for the first one down to 0 for the last one. Okay, so the position is 0.8 minus 0.1 times the index. Let's try this. See if this gives us the proper juice that we're looking for. Uh-oh. Oh, it is read-only. Okay. How do I set the animation position then? How do I set... Can I set the animation position? Godot, set animation position. Is it possible to set animation position? Only has a getter's read-only property. Oh, seek. Seek is what it's called. Sets the animation to the seconds point in time. Okay, so instead of set to that, we want to seek to this second. Update, we can defer. Okay, let's try that. See if we get a nice little fold out. Hey, that looks all right. That looks just fine. Okay, and then we'll do an action, and then yeah. Okay, I don't like how linear it is, and I know we had a good reason for doing that, but let's just try changing it to cubic and see. That still looks okay, even cubic. Like, it looks so okay that I'm hesitant to believe it actually did what I wanted. No, that's fine. If anything, let's speed it up quite a bit. 0.1, let's change that to 0.04. Kind of get it about 250% speed. Oh, whoops, I'm in the wrong scene. Yeah, that's what we're after. That animation sucks. Yeah, okay. A little bit of animation on the menu. It just pops out. I love it. Yeah, that, honestly, that looks fine. That actually really makes it look a lot nicer. That's an easy animation to add, and that really improves things over just pop in. Yeah. Well, now I kind of want to experiment a bit. Like, rather than coming out from the side, we could make it fold down. Is there a way I can do that? Is it gonna let me? It will let me. All right. So let's try it. Y 0. So it'll be like that. And also, let's do duplicate that. Duplicate this, but not as much. Make it like 0.5, so we get this. Yeah, but cubic. Make it swing out. Like that. Also, make it much punchier. It's alright. Let's see what that looks like now. Didn't even see it. Oh, because it's 0.8, it's so fast. We can fix that temporarily. Change this to 0.6 so that it plays the full animation. Let's just see what that looks like. It's okay. It's alright. But not quite there. I like the other one. It looks good. It's punchy, it's quick. No waiting around. Just pull it out. Pow. Clean. I love it. Yeah. Okay, let's at least get the basic setup of some kind of... Oh, this is going to be tricky. All right, game state. Game state, huh? The UI for the battle is going to show like player health, variables that should be shared outside of battle, because we want these to be available for things like using items outside of battle, rest in an inn or some analog thereof, encounter overworld hazards. So, yeah, we are going to want to have some sort of global to maintain this. I am pretty sure that whatever we build here is going to become a pretty massive ball of mud very quickly. So let's be prepared for that. Let me see if we already have an auto load that... We have game manager. What's in game manager? Base speed. Things that do not change. So that's like stats related to animation and moving around. But yeah, globals. I get it. Okay, let's put it in game manager for now. Let's call it stats. Ooh. How are we gonna build this? We could go separate stats like this. Like this. And that's okay. But that basically means 2 parameters at a time. Would we prefer to have an object representing a metered thing? A range. Is it what types does Godot support? Core types. And then let's also see if we can make a custom type. Which I guess would just be a class. this feels like something that should not be here. But maybe it'll be okay. Class. Something that represents X out of Y. What do we name that? A pool. Stat pool. Or pool stat. Class stat pool. Oh, right. What am I doing? Okay. Yeah, setting that. All right, Godot. Custom classes. How to implement properly. You don't need a class for everything. I mean, I get it. I get that I don't. It just, I feel like it would be the right way to organize things. Okay, no, wait, that's for C#. There's only 2 properties. I could treat it as an array instead. Like HP equals like that, and we just assume that we know that this is current over max. But it would be really nice to reference it in a way such as stats.hp.current and have like accessor methods. Just to make sure we don't paint ourselves into a corner. Are there accessor methods? Are there accessor methods? It doesn't look great. Wait, maybe? Getter setter. I mean, maybe. Maybe. Let's just try and see. Can I do this? I really want to make sure I get this right. All classes that don't define inheritance extend reference. So maybe we can create... we might be making a mistake here. But let's try it. Let's try to make a mistake together. Is this a resource? No. We're gonna call this stat pool, yeah. Okay, so how does this work? Constructor, even. I don't even know. To script, class constructor. Can a class have a constructor? You can override it. Class constructor in the docs. Perfect. Yes, this looks good. This looks good. Calling class is named init. All right. Do we want a name? We don't need a name. We just want current and max. And that's gonna just have current as an int and max as an int. And then if we pass in bad values, we can fix it. Or not fix it, but throw an error. If current is greater than max, I don't know, can you even throw error? How to throw an error. Assert. Push error. OS alert? Ow. That sounds a little bit rough. Surely there's gotta be something. Print error? Print error. Stat current greater than max. Okay, so this could be all we need for now, is just a current and max value for a stat pool object. Yeah. And then maybe that means that we can, in Game Manager, reference that and say that HP is a stat pool 1010. Not found in base. I mean, that makes sense. Okay. GD script reference custom class. Not from C#. Please. Do I need to make it an auto load? Is that the problem? Reference. How do I reference? From another file. Class reference? No. I have no idea how I would do it. I can try making an auto load and see if that works. Global classes, stat pool. Stat pool sounds wrong, but we'll try it. Is it gonna? How's it like that? Stat pool called as a function, but is a stat pool. Oh, can I just do this now? No, not found. Ugh. Ugh. I get it. I don't love it. But I do now have a class that represents, that I can reference HP.current, HP.max. All right. I still don't know what we're going to use for mana. Oh, now it doesn't like this. Well, that's because it's. What? Oh, wait, no. What? Hides an auto load. What? What is it even saying? What do you mean? No, I don't want it. Okay. I get it. But. Alright, GD script, custom class, example. Can I see any uses of this? This is from years ago, so it's version 3. Ugh. Okay, yeah, I get that. I am seeing that. I suggest you define your class with class name syntax. Hang on. We're getting somewhere. Class name is what I'm after. Class name. And that way it's not like this. So instead it's this. Yeah. Yeah. Is this what I need? Maybe. No, okay. What is it not like here? Oh, hides an autoload. Okay, hang on. Let's remove that autoload. Now, is it okay with this? Maybe. Maybe. Yes. Now, though, how would I reference it? That's really what I want to know is, now that I've done that, so define your class with class name syntax. That's the only way to roast marshmallows. Define it with class name. Then the class will be global, maybe. So... Oh, thank goodness. Okay. We've got stats. Except this needs to be player HP, and then partner. And then we need shared MP. And then we need partner HPs. Secret path, secret path. And then we'll reference them by... There we go, 7 partners. Even if they don't exist. Oh, it doesn't like that. Because reasons. Expected closing after dictionary elements. Oh, forgot the comma. There we go. All that to just build our stat setup. Great. We'll probably end up having an XP meter, which will just roll over from 0. A money amount, which I don't know, maybe we want to have a maximum. I'm not 100% sure on that. Okay, but we did figure out custom classes at least. It's really... Working in Godot is... It's very strange. I'm not used to these kinds of languages compared to, like, these very class-centric managed systems like C#. Gosh, I miss C#. I know you can do C# in Godot. I thought I was doing myself a favor by actually learning GD script. Okay, that's fine. We now have our stats that we can read from anywhere, because this is part of our global, so it's just gamemanager.stats.playerhp.current or something. Every time there's a secret path, it seems to be a disaster. It does lower the chance of success, but increases the payout. I don't remember by how much, but it does. Okay, so now we need a new... Do we want this to be a 3D scene? This can be a control scene. We're going to say menus. And we're going to call this the stat overlay. This is a user interface. There it is. Wow. Incredible. I would like to start with... We're going to start by hard coding these. We're going to pull these out into... these are later going to be pulled out into subscenes, but for now... For now, this will be fine. Yeah, let's just use... No, not that one. Oh, because I used theme. That's true. That's true, I did. It's... Where is it? What was the... What was the thing I used here? It's the style box flat, which is combat menu item truss. I guess it doesn't have to be that exactly. Actually, it would make more sense if it's not that. So yeah, let's just start with our new own special style box. And we'll save it out into an object later if we need to. Bronzy? You want to go bronzy? Brassy? With some nice corner radiuses, of course. Extra rounded. Pretty small though. 500 pixels is too big considering we want to have 2 of these. And another small one next to it. We'll probably have a too big. 3 pixel border radius. Border color will be same but darker. And then this, let's orange this up a bit more. Orange it up, orange it up. There we go. We'll have a little icon over it. Just grab a sprite, 2D. Let's use everybody's favorite. Yeah. And that'll be character face, but also a heart icon of some sort. And then we need a label. We're just gonna kind of eyeball these for now. We do need to make a custom font at some point. What's the category? Mario enemy? Oh, I know it. Huh. So I'm a Mario master, of course. Let's go ahead and pull this. Should we go ahead and pull this out into its own separate little thing? I'm a little concerned about, well, multiple things really. All right, let's. Okay, yeah, let's scene. Not new inherited scene, is it? No, it's save as scene. Save branch as scene. So this is our menu stat overlay. Stat overlay panel. So now let's go into our, actually let's take stat overlay and make sure it gets added to our battle. Go. Incredible. Look at that. That's a reasonable size actually. It's not good placement, but it's a good size. All right, so now let's open this up. Actually name this. Yeah, I kind of want to like make these exported textures so that we can select this and then fill in the stuff. And maybe we can add some functions that can do some animations, like make it blink, make it, you know, flash when it's low, that kind of stuff. Like a little shine when it fills up for whatever reason. That would be nice. Ooh. Okay, hang on now. Inheritance is creeping in again. So definitely we need the easy ones are we need one for HP for both main player and partner, but also we need one for mana or energy, whatever we're gonna call it. We may actually replace the text with an icon. That would actually be pretty nice because then we can recycle that icon for, like, if we want to do some moves that are based on, oh, you have to spend health, we just swap out the icon and that's it. That would look really nice. You would be able to read it at a glance. So we definitely want to have 2 for HP, except for the cases where there's only one player playing, like during the tutorial, for instance. 1 for mana, or whatever it is. But then we might have some different ones, like, let's say, amount of experience points. One that's not a X out of Y. So in that case, it's like, do we want to have a sub-scene that is just like panel, that we can give it, we can pass in some kind of thing to it, like, okay, it can share its flashing animation and its shimmer effect if we need to. But other, like, like, how much do we want to share versus keep it separate? Does it even need to be its own scene? Does it even need to be its own scene, or can we just have, like, this is only 4 items here. Would it make sense just to have these all, like, what am I gonna have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6. 5 or 6 of these panels. Would it make sense just to have 5 or 6, 5 times 4 nodes in this? It's gonna get more complicated than that. It's absolutely gonna get more complicated than that now that I think about it. I hate what Unity has done. I know we're doing Godot right now. I hate that I can't use them because the structure makes a lot of sense. Is there a decent way? No, because all right. Here's what I've got in mind. Chime in if you have ideas. Let's just take this one icon here. I want to expose the texture to this so that on this stat overlay panel, I can just select, okay, we're on panel 1, and just drag over an icon into the inspector for specifically panel 1 and a different icon into panel 2, and it actually show up in the editor. Like, it's not waiting for some kind of ready command. Is that even doable? Let me search some things here. Hang on. It's definitely going to be something I'm going to try and figure out off stream tomorrow. We're not doing a stream tomorrow because it's Tuesday. Go override sprite in inspector. Override sprite. No, override scene instance. How to override values of packed scenes. Editable children. Hang on. Right click over the instantiated scene and click editable children. Oh. Oh. That's how. Cool. Well then. There you go. So I might be able, let's duplicate this, move it over here, and then let's see if we can player. This is gonna look pretty ugly, cause but yeah, okay, yeah, that only did that one. And then you could presumably scale it. Ah, that's why you don't want that. Okay, okay. And then if I go into edit this, I can say, this does not need to be a child. And then I go back into here, and now it's not a child. Okay. Oh, cool. It's super doable. Actually, turns out it's super doable. And I could probably even, yeah, turns out I could even just add more things to it. I should have a pre-baked combined sprite at some point. Okay, and then we just put a little heart icon there. Well, cool. Turns out that's pretty easy to do once you know what you're doing. All right, and then we do need to have some way of indicating what stat it belongs to. And that gets a little bit scary. Oh, and we can modulate it. Oh, we could make these... Ooh. We could do modulation-based colors if we wanted these to be like separate tones. Okay, so consider we have HP tied to this automatically so that it can detect each scene, like each frame, it can watch for changes to that stat, and when it detects changes, it can automatically queue up animation of ticking down or flashing red when damage is taken, maybe make it shake a little bit when it gets reduced. But you wouldn't want to do that for things like mana, or whatever your mana equivalent is, because that's not like, we don't need a damage animation for that. So you'd probably don't want that. You could still tick down the number. Not impressive, Snail. All right, let's move this out of the far corner for one thing. There we go. But yeah, we could include a yeah, something that kind of just listens for that global value to change, so that when it changes, this just updates automatically on its own. It's its own little self-contained thing. It is reading from the source of truth and animating appropriately. Maybe we create multiple animation types that can be used, such as something to indicate damage taken versus a sort of refresh, like a healing item. One thing that's always nice in these little UIs is seeing player uses a healing move, and little hearts pop out of the 3D object in the scene towards the UI that represents it, and as those little particles reach there, you see the number tick up, and a little sound, a little bloop, 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 kind of bubbly sound plays. That integration between the three-dimensional space and the flat 2D UI heads-up display. That is something to consider. Probably overkill for now. Yeah, next big thing to do will be working on displaying things in the UI that are true to the actual values, and then after that, we will actually start modifying those values based on combat actions. Deduct mana for using skills, deduct health for taking damage, all that. Battle system is taking place. We're gonna need some art at some point. At some point, we're gonna actually need some art. We'll get there. Also, it'd be funny if the heart for the player icon was like very obviously like metal plating kind of stuff compared to like a very standard fantasy health icon heart for the partner. I think that would be funny. I'm gonna do that probably. That's probably it. I gotta go to bed. That's it. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you for hanging out. It has been fun. Progress has been made. Marginal progress. Working on UI is a little bit slow. I'm still not well-versed in any game engine's UI stuff. But we're getting there. We're learning. One of these days, we'll have more things on screen, and health bars, and quick time events, and value over time chart. It's going to be great. None of that is true. Have a good night, everybody. See you next time.